Alright, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Here I am on Rideau Street. As you can see, Rideau Street. Once again, I'm doing this at 4 o'clock in the morning because there's less people and it's pretty cold and whatever. Too bad for me, but whatever. And you know, some of you might say that I'm doing this because I'm living in the past, which I am, but that's the whole point. And the point of this video is to show you some of the fucking sights of Rideau, a bit of the history, and also the arcade history. First of all, I'd like to notice that these glass things, yeah, a lot of people don't notice, but in the 1983, when the Rideau Center was made, it became what was known as a bus mall, and these like steel and glass things were covered, and you couldn't drive down Rideau Street because it was only for buses, right? And like apparently like most of this thing was like enclosed in glass and steel, kind of like this, and you could see like the remnants here. I read like an article on Herb site or whatever it was. These things, these like squares, are part of the what used to be the oh fuck, that's the bad thing about doing it. Used to be the glass and steel encasing, which apparently is now part of like a Perth fucking museum. But yeah, kind of gave a little bit of the grunginess of Rideau Street. And here, of course, are like the famous corners where in the 90s lots of skater kids or like raver kids would hang out, and it would be pretty bad, you know, like the whole fucking the squeegee scene. But yeah, apparently this was all glass and steel. Here you got like the old buildings for Rideau. The McDonald's right there. McDonald's used to be where the Tim Horton was, and there was like a fucking in the front there was like a fucking ice cream stand where you can go. It was never used, but like it was just like this little hut in the front, and you know, it was like the long hallway, and then you'd go down, and that's where the people would be served. Here's also another fucking street kid place in the 90s. Right down here. Rideau Street. Can't see much because it's dark. Yeah, so you got the old buildings. A lot of them kind of got repainted. But, or converted to like dance halls like this one. It's like a dance hall up there now. But yeah, man, that used to be the old fucking Rideau Center right there. This was like, right here, it's an empty parking lot now, but they're going to change it up for the new expansion to the Rideau Center, which I'm coming up to a place soon that you'll see. Like right here used to be a bank. I think it was either Canada Trust before it was TD Canada Trust, like when it was just Canada Trust. It was either that or Banque Nationale. And it was the scene, like right about here somewhere. It was the scene of when Tom Green came into the bank machine with a couple of dancers and like a ghetto blaster and just started dancing in front of a guy or a couple girls or something that were trying to just get their money out, and it was like the Tom Green dancers or whatever. It was just like a bunch of girls dancing with him. And then here, this is kind of important here, this was like just, I don't know what it was just like a big block of something, like maybe like hydro stuff, but it got taken down. And the reason I mentioned it, why it's important, oh, also right here, the Highlander pub, these fountains right here, right there, that's where Tom Green did the Canterbury Tales, well, part of the Canterbury Tales. Down there you got the Bywood Market over there. But part of the reason why I mentioned this importance in this section right here is because this building right here is going to be taken down. Alright, I'm going to get a bit of bus driver early in the morning for him too. This building right here used to be the Ogilvy building, and they're going to tear that down and leave only the the 3 bottom floors, because we've got was the Ogilvy building made by some Ogilvy guy in 1907. It was like a dry goods shop. That was 1907 was the first floor, and then it expanded these 2 floors in 1917. And then the 3rd floor up there in 1934, and then the 4th floor in 1937. They're going to keep the 3rd floor as well, part of it, for the building of the new Rideau Center, but that's it. And incorrectly, a lot of news agencies are saying that it's been vacant for 20 years, but that would make it like 93, which is partly true. There you go, get another building. Oh, down there is the Arts Court, where Tom Green did like 2 years when he was signed to Rogers after he was, no, when he was signed to Comedy Network after he did Rogers behind Russell. Before going to MTV. Oh, fuck my fingers. So yeah, this is going to get tore down, most of it, but it's going to get converted into part of the new Rideau Center. And then apparently from what I saw this morning, the Scotia Bank over there is going to be part of the new train station or whatever. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Fuck, I forgot what I was saying before that. Oh yeah, it was vacant, they say. Okay, here we go. It was vacant, they say. But I mean, that's not really true because, as some of you know, like around 96 or 97, there was like a Stitches in there, and I think some of the top floors were used as dance studios. Yeah, there was like a Stitches, right? A lot of baggy pants. I remember getting really good baggy pants. Oh shit, man, ever since they redid the streets, there's something missing here. Now we're coming up to something really important in my life. This tattoo parlor right here. Right here. Right next to the Church of Scientology. This tattoo parlor right here, although it's different from what it was before, used to be Control Arcade. Apparently it was Control Central, but I remember the neon signs only saying Control Central. It's very different from what the inside was. I could probably draw you guys a diagram later, because normally there's like a fucking post right here, or there's like a thing right here. I could have put my bag on top of it. It was like right here, just like a thing with flowers. So man, me and my cousin used to come to this fucking arcade all the time, man. Like, this is where I first saw Virtua Fighter 3, and it was like the first time that it was like on a disconnect. It wasn't like part of a cabinet, it was like a disconnected cabinet with like a large screen TV, and it made the graphics look like so fucking cool. It was also the first place I saw Mortal Kombat 4, where Joey Escuerdo, when me and my cousin came in, Joey Escuerdo was like, holy, like he was already there, and he was like, fuck man, you guys gotta fucking see this, it's 3D. Oh fuck, it was amazing. Oh, and by the way, these condos used to be just like empty, like deserted buildings. I wish they were still there, you know, because I'm living in the past or whatever. Oh, and then like right here, like I think either the Royal Bank or the Desjardins, I don't know which one it was, but it was the Dairy Queen, and you could like go down a long hallway and it would lead to the other side on George Street or whatever, in the market. So you go down a long hallway and it would connect to the fucking Saint-Hubert. So man, like, okay, we'd go from Russell and spend an afternoon at Control Central, go play some fucking like Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter before there was Marvel versus Capcom, and like play some Tekken 3 or whatever, and definitely some Street Fighter Alpha 2. Most of the time it wasn't playing, it was watching. And then you'd like come over here and like, you know, check out Rock Junction, look at the fucking t-shirts and the posters and stuff. Spend an afternoon there, go to like Top of the World or whatever. You know, because the 90s was like that kind of culture or whatever, like the street culture. And I find like Rideau is losing a lot of that with all this new losing of abandoned buildings and arcades. Well, that's a long time ago, but whatever. So, yeah. You know, you're losing a lot of that street culture. But, you know, Rock Junction kind of keeps it. And Top of the World, whatever. I don't really go to those stores. I don't really care. But, like, I used to, kind of. But, yeah, man, this fucking arcade. I would draw a diagram, but my fucking fingers are freezing. I better start walking. I mean, it was, like, different. Okay, like, the wall was, like, further in Like it would probably be like where the counters right there are, and then like it was like slimmer. Like this was like there would be a wall. This like this stuff like here, like all the bongs and shit, that was like a separate store. And then like there was kind of like a wall here too, and then it would curve down, and then there'd be like the place where the guy gave you the change there, and then there wasn't all these walls over here. Those were like where there was like a center line of arcades, and then there was ones along the wall here where like Alpha 2 was at one point, and Alpha 3, but I wasn't really around. And didn't come here really much during the Alpha 3 days, and it was pretty much closed after that. And then there was like big rooms where they would showcase like older, or like the fucking new, like they had Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter and shit. It was like on a big screen TV. I remember getting my ass kicked by like a young Asian guy, and I was like, God damn, I fucking suck. I'd put in place, used to be Bogey Records, got some good breakbeat records in. Oh yeah, the Zesty Market, man. That's always been kind of like a convenience store, but on the top there used to be like a mask shop. I like this building right here. There's like a public history thing in there. They do like research. I applied there, you know, of course I never got a job because of the way I look probably. Dollarama right there used to be Blockbuster. Rest in peace. Oh, my fingers are freezing. I love that arcade though, man. Like, that is my fucking heart. That was like the real arcade. Like, there was fucking crack dealers in the back and shit, where all the like old empty, like broken down, like old school arcades were. Like, you know, like they had like the not the Super, but the Mario Brothers game there, or like Donkey Kong, whatever. A lot of them didn't work. They had the old wrestling game and those, but like, yeah, in that section, everything was like closed and shit, or turned off. And then crack dealers in the back. A lot of fond fucking memories there, man. Like, that was kind of like that period, like the second generation of Street Fighter. You know, you had like your Street Fighter 2 days, and then you had like your Alpha plus like Versus series games. That generation was like my favorite, just in terms of like arcade. Like, of course I love Third Strike and all that bullshit, but you know, that's like a different generation after like my arcade days. Vertigo Records, very good fucking store. Got some people right here. Johnny Cash, Jimmy. All right, and here's where I might be kind of incorrect, but these condos right here, it used to be a record, like a 2-story building with Record Runner at the bottom, and then like a bar that would always fucking change names, like Tequila fucking Jack or whatever on the end, and then like on the top floor was like Mexicali Rosa or whatever. But I'm pretty sure, this is where I might be wrong, where Record Runner used to be was like an arcade in the 80s and 90s, and when I first came here to Ottawa, like 91, when this was still a bus mall apparently, I remember going to like an arcade somewhere in Rideau, and I'm pretty sure it was where the Record Runner was. It was like the only time I ever saw, I think it was the only time I ever saw a Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo in the arcade. But I might be wrong about that. Yeah. I don't know if I know there was an arcade on Rideau, but I don't know if that's exactly where it was, where the Record Runner was. Shoutouts to Record Runner, or rest in peace. Or it might be somewhere else. I think it's somewhere else, like down there. But I don't really pay attention. If it was an arcade, I'd fucking pay attention. Goddamn. Yeah, so, fuck, it's probably not going to pick up a lot of shit because it's like dark and shit. My fingers, my thumb is dying. Yeah, so you got that fucking, kind of got the history of the Rideau there. With the bus mall, which was broken down in 1993. Okay, Cafe de Cuff right here. Fucked or whatever. And Maverick, that used to be the whipping post. It was like a reggae bar on my mom. I don't know if it was fully reggae, but it was like, sometimes it was reggae. My mom used to go there. remember showing up like once, me and my cousin on Canada Day, she let us like roam free on Rideau Street because it was all the stuff. You know, of course, we went to fucking Control and played some shit or whatever. And then we went around, you know, Rideau Center. And then we came back. This has always been here. I love this like kind of old school 70s, 80s building where it's like kind of modern. You could tell that it's not like the old school building, but like it looks like cheaper and older than the old school buildings. But yeah. Oh fuck, I got a drunk right here. Yeah, and then we came back to the whipping post, and she was like, fuck, it's so boring, get me out of here, because there was like nobody playing. So then we just left with her or whatever. Too bad we didn't take her to the arcade. You know, I remember taking my mom to Midway. This is I don't know if I told this story when I was talking about the Blanca story, but like I told her, oh my god, you gotta come and see like remember that game I showed you? Like, there's like an Indian guy too, and he's amazing. Like his limbs, I didn't say limbs because I didn't know what limbs meant, but his like legs and his arms, they're long and stuff. And she was like, oh, okay, I'll come see you or whatever. Like, fuck, or it's kind of stupid, whatever. But like, my kid's really excited about it, and she thought I was talking about like a Native Indian guy, Native American guy, but I was talking about, you know, like a real, like a Hindu Indian, and she was like, oh, okay, whatever. But like, not that she didn't care, but I mean, kind of a misunderstanding there, because of the racist name of Indians. Thank you, Christopher. Oh man, fuck, I love Rideau. So you got those two well, the one arcade I don't know about, but I know about Control. And you got the bus mall from 93, that got demolished in 93, from 83 to 93. Kind of give the street culture to Rideau Center in a way, apparently, because people say it's never recovered since then from that mall, and it's always looked kind of slummy, which is kind of losing its character right now, which is why I'm making the video. And you got the fucking Ogilvy building that's going to get demolished, but whatever. Rest in peace, Ogilvy building, except for the top, the bottom 3 floors. Metro used to be IGA. The LCBO there. The LCBO used to be like fucking nothing for like the longest time. Similar to what the plot of land where like Desmarais was, and sort of like where the Russell Confectionery was, where it's like 3 large pieces of retail are not like used for anything except for the Russell Confectionery. Don Cherry's, I don't know what the fuck. But yeah, it was like empty for the longest time, and it was just like blocked off, and then this was just the IGA parking lot. Okay, you got, this is the intersection, well, this is, yeah, the intersection of King Edward and Rideau. And, you know, at these corners right here, this is like very common in the 90s, where you'd find like the squeegee guys in the corners here waiting, or on that one over there, you know, until Mike Harris, motherfucker Mike Harris, hit a wash, you know what I'm saying? Mike Harris got rid of that fucking squeegee shit. I mean, it makes the fucking world look cleaner, but it gets rid of that 90s street culture that I'm talking about. Yeah, right here, or on the other side. Fucking so many new condos, man. I kind of hate it. Of course I fucking hate it. Oh man, my fucking arm, it's freezing. Steve's music right there, man. That's where I got my Steve's music right here. Zoom in before the bus goes by. Steve's music. That's where I got my SL1200. Great piece of fucking machinery right there. I didn't get the MK2, but I got the MK3D. I always fucking like was in awe of like the keyboard section. Shout out to Liam Howlett, Leroy Thornhill, and the others, Maxim and Keith. But you know, for the keyboards, it's mostly Liam, and to a lesser extent, Leroy. Yeah, this used to be, before there was the Shoppers Drug Mart, they destroyed like Nate's Deli. Never been in there, but it was like a cool building. It kind of looked like part of Ottawa's heritage. Okay, and here you got the fucking Bytown. Shoutouts to Bytown. Ottawa's like old, plays like foreign and like, well, new too. Well, yeah, they could be new and foreign. You know, like art house movies and all that. Great fucking theater. I actually saw Rand there on the big screen. Probably my only chance to ever see Rand on the big screen. Get a better shot of it here. Pizza right there. It's kind of a nice parking lot. They got rid of the Nates, but it's a nice parking lot. Fuck, it's too bad it's dark because you guys probably can't see any of this. There you go, Bytown. Great theater. I would say best theater in Ottawa. Like, Mayfair's good and all, but, you know, Bytown's got that. Mayfair's older, actually, but Bytown's got that nice feel to it, you know. I just haven't been to the Mayfair in a long time. Okay, this pizza right here used to be on this side where the First Choice is. The First Choice there. Fuck, man.